Hey, alright, what's up? It's your boy Paco. How you doing? Last time we left off, prophecy shit. Now we're about to go talk to Nivelette. It was a Navia. That was a Navia part, bro. We had to say goodbye to the boys. Goats, the best NPCs in Genshin history. For real, for real.
You're, you're here! Finally!
What's up? What's going on?
Is something wrong? Monsieur Neurvalette and Lady Farina, they seem to have gotten into a dispute. Please go see for yourself.
Niggas is arguing? What are they yapping about? Hello?
Like I said, I've already explained everything.
And yet the problem has not been properly solved. There is little space for excuses between us.
Uh-oh.
It is not my intention to offend you, but please, tell me where you stand. You are the Hydro Archon Focalor, are you not? Look at this. This is a list of the victims from the recent Poisson incident.
Damn. Alright.
You mean they're all...
We did not arrive in time to avert this disaster, and I will not have it happen again.
10 toes on business.
I will say this once more. You must tell me everything you know. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient ruins near Poisson. Do you know anything about those?
Seriously? You're questioning me like this is a court case now. I don't know anything about that. But you found them in some ancient ruins, you say?
That's correct, which is why I came to ask you some questions. There should have been 4 slates, but one of them was missing. The other 3 feature different images that seem to correlate to the prophecy.
The prophecy?
You know.
The second of these slates depicts the previous Hydro Archon Egeria kneeling before a floating island in the sky, as if confessing something. Do you know nothing of this either?
I don't. I've never seen such slates.
I'll ask you again. Do you really have no information regarding the previous Archon? My deciphering of the slates indicates that the Hydro Archon Egeria once had to confess to, or apologize for, a certain sin. If anyone would know about it, it should be you.
True.
All gods don't have the same secrets, you know. She was herself and I'm me. Is it really so strange that I know nothing? I understand your concerns, but I'm sorry. I just don't have anything to tell you.
You're lying. He knows you're lying.
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Furina, but I have long known of your various secret investigations into certain matters.
Uh-oh.
There are several indications that you have been investigating the prophecy on the sly. This is not strange in itself, considering that you are the Hydro Archon. But it is strange that you should also claim to not know any of Egeria's secrets, as well as do nothing following your inquiries. You have never been as superficial as you have presented yourself to be, nor are you a fool. And yet, your behavior is very inconsistent.
So you've been watching me all this time, have you? I didn't think you were that type.
You...
Well, since you know about my secret investigations, then you should know I'm actually working to take care of it. There's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Eudix, but you're still my subordinate. You should be following my lead. Just trust in me, you're Archon, and do as I say. Never mind whether you can truly convince yourself to or not. It'll all turn out fine.
Which is a little cap on a stack.
That's all I have to say. We do not discuss this matter again. Oh, the opera's about to start. Toodles!
You are... Oh, and she's gonna run out the room. She's capping. You're capping on a stack. Uh-oh.
Did Furina not notice us standing by the door? Wonder what's up with her. She was smiling. She didn't seem in the mood to care if we were listening in or not.
She seems to deliberately hiding something.
I assume you've been outside for a while now?
Oh, you noticed. Seems Furina didn't even realize we were here.
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Our discussion reached impasses time and again, a state of affairs that we cannot allow to continue. Still, I do not understand. Dialogue is the basis for understanding, so why did she keep refusing to engage?
I'm afraid questioning alone might not suffice. We need to make her understand how dire the situation
Everyone
actually
in
is.
her inner circle has noticed that she is hiding some secret. The issue is her attitude. I fear that she will not reveal anything unless absolutely forced to. We may have to create a situation in which she will have no choice but to speak.
Oh? Like what?
Normally, people will only reveal the truth when standing trial. Perhaps we must have the Hydro Archon experience just such a scenario.
But Furina's seen so many trials, and she's really good at dodging questions. How do we make sure that she won't just slip away at the first chance she gets?
True.
We will need to consider this thoroughly, join forces with various parties, and then do what we can. If at all possible, I would prefer to recuse myself from this affair, but we must prevent the prophecy from coming to pass. This may be cruel to her, but all Fontaine is in crisis. The information a god possesses is too precious, and so we must take a chance on this.
In that case, we'll need help.
But who will lend us?
I think I know who to call. Not about somewhere in the quiet Poisson. Poisson. Poisson.
Well, that's everyone, huh?
Yes,
Speaking
sir.
of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Poisson was just involved in a disaster, so it's presently devoid of people. That naturally makes it the best choice.
And here you are drinking tea like it's the most natural thing in the world, huh?
That's what family should do. Sit and enjoy a leisurely time together.
It's nice to enjoy tea here, you know? Care for a cup?
Lend me your ears, everyone. Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about you, friend?
Me? No, I don't think I can.
Oh, Fremine.
Then, how about you, good sir?
I fear that I will cause the mood on this boat to become as somber as it is in court.
Jesus Christ.
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize things. Wonderful, the spotlight at last. I guess I'll be facilitating things from here.
That was a little long-winded, don't you think?
Oh, you might be right. Anyway, to cut to the chase, our friend here, the Traveler, has brought us together to discuss something. As for what that is, well, let's start by saying that we'll be pooling our efforts together to create a series of traps.
Facts.
Oh, how intriguing.
Well, it's just an expression, really. One that I just learned from Chlorand and used on the spot. So, let's invite her to explain in detail. A round of applause, please.
Jesus Christ. You are too adorable, Navia.
Huh? Didn't you say that you would be facilitating this?
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good chance to practice. You might even pick up some fancy oratory tricks to impress your boss with in the future.
I see. And what does my boss say?
That's crazy.
He is glad that you consider him your boss. Do go on.
I love these fucking kids, bro.
In
God.
that case, do any of you have experience hunting?
Not that I recall.
Fremine and I once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were younger. As for Lynette, oh, right. You were sick that day, weren't you?
I've also gone diving to catch some fish before. Does that count?
I'm afraid not. You may or may not have heard, but Fontaine once played host to a group known as the Marechaussee Hunters. Though that was their name, they did not
Why
hunt
is your
animals,
voice so quiet?
but
Speak
rather
up,
various
please.
monsters left behind by the ancient dynasty of King Remus. Today, Fontaine's monster population has already thinned greatly, so the hunters have blended back into society, taking up arms in other lines of work. They even left a unique methodology of hunting in their wake. A trap comprises of the following components: bait, a trigger, and a containment device. Sometimes a lethal implement will also be necessary to deal with the prey. So, if we were to build a trap together, right now, what would you choose to build it with?
For me, I would prefer something basket-shaped. Pigeons and rabbits will see the bait and naturally enter the snare. Our line of work requires a deft hand, and we're some of the best in the industry, so you can count on our techniques.
You used some of those techniques while moving the people of Poisson, didn't you? My subordinates mentioned that you even performed some magic for the bawling children.
Yes, and I even managed to gather some intelligence in the meantime. I'm quite the multitasker if I do say so myself.
I'm afraid I can't claim that as my strong suit. I prefer more stable methods, like placing bait in the water and waiting for the fish to come within reach. That's the kind of method I would count on.
Calm and steady. Exactly the kind of person who would catch loads of fish.
Facts.
And I can be their assistant.
With discretion, I'm sure.
I'd probably use some sort of mechanical animal. Papa once bought me some small clockwork squirrels, mice, and such. When placed in the forest, they can attract others of their kind. I remember that you liked those too, didn't you?
Oh, you're bonding.
I did. And that would be a good way to go about it. If they're realistic enough, animals of the same kind will follow them all the way to the trap.
What about you, Monsieur Neuvillette?
Yeah, Mr. Dragon Boy.
Fear I do not have any related experience.
That makes sense. You usually solve problems directly, without the use of any such tricks. But I do have one more question for you, monsieur. If we were to create a trap now, how would you design it?
I would like for it to be effective, but bring no harm to the prey. A more gentle trap would be ideal.
Kind, as always. However, our intention doesn't necessarily change the containment device and the type of implement we need. If we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also goes for prey that must be captured and safely contained.
Wait, why's that?
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can snare it without harming it. The line that divides life and death is often exceedingly thin.
Ooh.
So, are we going hunting together?
Huh. We hadn't thought of seeing ourselves as hunters. It kinda works, but maybe it's still not the best metaphor.
If our means of capturing and dealing with our prey is to put them on trial, then the hunting metaphor is actually quite accurate. But we shall require much more courage than any hunter to judge a god, a being whose seat is an exalted throne.
Facts.
Oh, so that's what's going on. Sounds very interesting.
Nigga, we're gonna hunt a god, brother, boy. You might not be simple the secret she's keeping. Attempting to take her secrets is an act of... What? Sacrilege, disrespect, but it must be done to prevent Fontaine from seeking into the water as foretold in the prophecy. They're neither hunter nor prey, but there must be a trap. That is what you'll need. Layman's terms, we gotta put God on a t-shirt. That's great. No, we gotta put God in the setup. I don't know why automatically I put on a t-shirt. My ignorant ass.
tough few days, hasn't it? So much has been happening. Paimon didn't think the meetings would go on for so long, but everyone seemed pretty fired up, huh?
Facts.
Paimon thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks about it, but everyone else just looked a little surprised. Well... It's hard to say. Paimon doesn't have any experience with this sort of thing. But with you around, Paimon sure will do great. After all, you're the most reliable person in the world, aren't you? Did you just pour some tea? Paimon, what's that?
Oh.
Paimon's never seen that cup before.
Don't be frightened. I'm just joining you two for tea. I merely refrained from saying anything till now.
Who's that voice? But there's no one here.
Ah, have you forgotten me already?
Is that Alice?
Wait, you are familiar. You're the voice we heard from the sky in Sumeru.
Is that Alice?
The voice from the sky, I fear that description is wrong. Though, not completely wrong. You're feeling lost now, just as you were feeling previously. I sensed that confusion and thus came to you. Guiding people is an irresistible hobby of mine, after all. Consider me a passerby, just accepting a commission from my friend's disciple on a whim.
Oh, Mona.
The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled. You may view such things as the history of the future.
What? Then is there any way we can stop it?
I believe you have witnessed a failed attempt with your own eyes. Can everything in Tevat so easily be changed?
There it is again. Fate.
Ah, so you've caught on. Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods' gaze does not fall? Are the things that you shall see different from the fate that the gods perceive?
Bitch, answer the question.
What is she talking about? It all sounds really impressive and important and stuff, but it also sounds kind of scary.
I believe that you understand, right? Some things are insignificant, but others you must reach out to change. Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Tevat's future. All you need to do is to play your part. This was good tea, by the way. Thank you for your hospitality. Well, that'll be all for today.
The voice. It's gone.
Bro. What are you yapping about? You just yapped to me for nothing. Play your part.
Alright. Hey, it's you who's getting lazy, okay?
Well, I see I've walked in on some lively banter.
Hello, Mona. I love your voice.
Fine, just fine. I went to take part in that Steambird panel. It turned out to be more interesting than I expected. Not all Fontainians are pessimistic about this. One journalist mentioned that sitting around and waiting for the end to come would be wrong, and...
Did she have pink hair by any chance?
Why, yes, it was Charlotte. I'm in full support of her view. Prophecies are very important, but how can people allow their lives to be commandeered by just a few words?
That's right! Paimon's glad to hear something sensible for once.
Yes. About what we had discussed before. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't Huh? Goodness gracious. Are you serious?
I believe she came to pass a message on
She said that even the god's gaze has blind spots. Pretty bold if you ask Paimon. Most people would believe the gods to be all-knowing, right?
The Hexen Circle members are certainly anything but ordinary. As for the mage named N, the old hag has mentioned her a few times. She said that N's sense of direction is incredible, and that she loves guiding those who are lost. But I've never met her, and if she were still alive, she'd be... well, suffice it to say that the hag's at least a few hundred now, and N's been around for longer than that.
Whoa. The Hexen Circle sounds like a scary group.
But their abilities alone are pretty terrifying.
Well, it's not like Paimon could understand anything she said.
Dax.
Yes, she was quite cryptic, but I suspect she means that there is still a way to turn things around. She didn't say when or what that would be, though, so perhaps it is something that you cannot know right now.
True, her words are meant to be a helpful hint, but they'll realize their value and meaning. It's the best answer to my question.
Traveler, Paimon?
Oh, we're fine.
I see. I guess you could consider me someone who has often witnessed fate. So far as I have seen, it cannot be swayed. But even so, I still hope for and believe in miracles. Astrology is eternal. Perhaps that's what N was trying to tell you. Not to lose heart, and to believe that what you are seeing playing out before you is not yet set in stone.
Or maybe
I
it is.
did originally think of steering
She
clear
could
of all
probably be
this,
saying something
but I
stupid
couldn't.
like, okay, but what
Even if this
happens
is
after
all
the
futile,
prophecy?
I still wish to help everyone.
You doofus.
If we don't struggle to the last, then how
What
can we
happens
face the end when it
afterwards?
comes?
Who knows? You know?
You do have a
She
point.
sits on her throne crying. Yada, yada, yada. But what
There
happens
I
after?
go, talking about astrological
You know?
principles again.
You know what I'm saying?
Sorry about
Prophecies
that.
do they
The
thing,
moment I
but what
start talking
happens
about
after the
work-related
prophecy?
stuff... I need to get going.
Huh?
It was worth trying to comfort you, even if only a little. I believe that you'll help those who are struggling in the same way I did.
Yeah, what happens afterwards?
I suppose that might be why we always seem
Know
to
what I'm
meet by
saying?
coincidence.
Buggers. Bye-bye.
Paimon feels kind of moved by what Mona said, but also kind of sad too. Hey, Traveler, Paimon suddenly... Let's walk around the city, shall we? There's a few spots we always like to...
Bro, I don't care, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I don't give a fuck. Continue my damn story. Jesus Christ.
Huh? Let Paimon see! The underwater stronghold. My recent attempts to thus did an out. So while the portrait journalist Charlotte's... Charlotte took so many awesome photos, she hasn't been able to get a hold of anything.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm skipping this because I do not care. I don't care about walking around, bro. I don't give a shit. Where's my plot?
Take it easy.
I don't care. I do not care. I don't care, bro.
Hey, quick! Look! That's the limited edition, only 16 slices. It was so delicious the last time.
One slice of cake, please.
Someone showed up after all. Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Oh, are you here to buy cake too?
Wait, did I really...
That's right. Even he has his own.
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily schedule, apart from work.
Then what if someone told you one day that this place would...
But why would it close?
Well...
Oh, the prophecy. To be honest, no. It's the same for eating in
Huh.
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have these 2 slices are for you? Sijuin said...
Oh, you know Sijuin?
I sure do. She said that I've got something else to do, so...
I don't care. I do not care, even though I love this adorable little shit. I don't give a
And there
fuck.
she goes. All right, let's dig in.
I do not give a fuck.
It's more Sure would be nice if we could always
Fast forward
eat
this shit. You need to stop yapping and give me my plot.
office. Let's go look for Charlotte and have a chat.
Ain't no fucking way, boy. What?
Feels like he'll grow mold, but it's still better than the Fortress of Mirror.
So the two of you are still here. Wonderful.
Oh, you're from the Palais Meronia, aren't you?
Yes, I'm Isadora. Monsieur Nervillat sent me to look for you two before. I heard that afterward you went to the Fortress of Meropide. Not at all. I'm well aware that you're friends of his. Yes, inside the Opera House. The
A riot?
Well, that said, I don't personally think it was that serious. Lady Furine was watching a performance at the Opera House, and while she was resting during an intermission, some other audience members suddenly started harassing her, loudly accusing her of doing nothing about the prophecy crisis. And before she could respond, others started to join in.
Oh, they barking at her for real, for real.
The crowd continued to grow, and protests against the Hydro Archon started to break out.
So people have started to put the blame on Furina. Guess they finally found an outlet for the pressure they've been under due to the prophecy.
I agree. People will naturally rely on God.
So what happened after that is Furina...
Seeing that the situation was spiraling out of control and that further argument was pointless, she claimed that she'd gotten tired of this and left in a hurry. The Marechaussee Phantom had their hands full maintaining order and did not catch where Lady Furina had gone. Only when things had stabilized did we realize that she had gone missing.
So, you mean she's still missing?
That's right. The Marechaussee has dispatched many people to search for her, but we don't have any leads yet. That said, I don't think there's much to worry about. She is good.
Don't worry, this is more than enough to...
Is that so?
Well, sounds like we should hurry over to Poisson then. If we know Furina, she won't try to fix things in this situation. Instead, she'll look for a place to wait out the heat. And, as we also know, she may be loud and dramatic, but she doesn't have a heart of stone.
No, sir.
When Nervalet was talking to her in the Palais Mermonia, and she heard about Poisson, she couldn't hide her sadness and remorse. It would be hard for her to ignore being accused by the public today. Paimon thinks Furina's probably taken the opportunity to slip away to Poisson and try to relieve the sense of guilt that she's feeling. Huh. Well, what do you think? Paimon knows the answer, of course, but Paimon can do the analysis to back it up, too. Cool, huh?
Shut up.
In that case, there's not a moment to lose. Poisson, here we come!
God, stop wasting my soul. Jesus Christ, back to the main plot. Fuck me. All that jazz. All of it. All of it. All of it. I'm skipping all that jazz. Why not pick this waypoint? She's underground, doofus. She's underground.
This place looks deserted. Guess all the survivors must have evacuated already. All that's left here are signs of devastation. Could Furina really be here?
Little Archon, little sad girl. Oh, she's so sad. For real, for real.
That's Furina, right over there. She really is here all on her own.
Shut up.
Should I just give up? This is all meaningless. What was meant to happen did happen after all. Everyone's dead. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Give up, Furina. There's no point in holding out.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry. But what can I even do other than to repeat meaningless apologies over and over?
Hey, love.
Who's that?
don't worry, Furina. It's just us.
What's up? Or you was crying.
So it is you, blonde traveler from another land. Why, I almost thought you were someone from that mob of my ignorant subjects, come to kneel and beg for my forgiveness.
Furina, you were crying just now, weren't you? The tear stains on your face are obvious.
Jesus, Paimon.
What do you mean, tear
Way to
stains?
stab her in the chest.
I remember. The show at the Opera House earlier this morning was so moving. I'm still trying to process it.
That's Cat.
Who did that uncivilized rabble think they were, disturbing my enjoyment of the arts? They even dare to tout their Archon. I must teach them a lesson. I can just imagine their twisted and frustrated faces once they realize that I'm nowhere to be found. Oh, and I'm sure Nouvellette and those people from the Marsh Say Phantom are freaking out right next to them, too.
I love this girl. I love this girl for real, bro. Bro, you are lying straight to my face.
Of course not.
You do
Hey, there
not
she
know
is!
what to do.
The Hydro Archon's over there!
Hey, yo, chill.
Quick, after her!
Whoa.
Furina, those people seem to be after you.
They are... They're just some rabid fans who want to cut the line because they haven't been able to meet me in person, aren't they?
No.
That's against the rules. I can't let them get their way.
No, Frida. They want to beat the shit out of you.
Furina just ran off. Quick, we have to catch up with her.
At least she understands the sense of danger. She booked it, oh my god. That's my Archon, for real. She is not ready for the smoke. She said, nope, no sir. I love her, bro. I really do. No sir.
This should be the place, right? Hey, Furina! There's a good hiding spot over here. Quick, come to Paimon before the rest of them catch up to you.
What is this place?
Hurry, they're almost here.
Fine. I suppose haste is warranted. Lead the way.
My adorable little Archon. She's crying, bro. She is not built for this shit. She is not built to be an Archon. No, sir. Imagine motherfuckers trying that shit against the Raiden Shogun. She would beat the brakes off these niggas. They try that shit. Hey, like, what's going on, dog? I'm a goddamn god.
I'm so tired. I totally thought they had caught me.
You need exercise.
No, I mean, I merely gave in to the sheer enthusiasm they displayed.
This is not what I call soundproof love.
You're right.
Yep, that's a good girl.
What's happening? The ground's shaking. Is it an earthquake?
Now, the disaster just struck, I suspect.
Yeah, a quake of this kind preceded the flooding in Poisson, didn't it?
It can't be. It's happening again.
Well, there's no need to worry too much about that. Nouvellette's made some emergency plans, so the evacuation should go a lot smoother this time.
We're still in here, though.
I hope you're right. But the people of Poisson, they've already...
Poisson? Your limit. Actual feelings and started starting looking far less stiff.
It's true. I've been investigating the prophecy for hundreds of years. I once had informants all over Tevat, searching for clues and feeding information back to me. I've tried all kinds of ways, too, to hold back the sea. Any anything to keep the coastline from advancing. But all my efforts proved to be futile in the end. Really, the truth has been clear to me for a very long time. We cannot make an enemy of the divine. No matter what we do, the will of the heavenly principles will have its way, and the prophecy shall be fulfilled.
Even then, you still haven't given up, right?
Give up. I do love the sound of that phrase. It would mean finally coming to terms with fate, but also for me to finally be free.
That would mean that all hope would disappear.
Indeed. I've thought about giving up so many times, especially after we almost lost Poisson. Fate is really unreasonable, isn't it? It has no heart and obeys no rules. The prophecy has only just started to come true, and so many people have already lost their lives.
You are
But
not
just now,
built for Hydra
it
Archon.
all became clear to me. I still don't have the right to come to terms with fate on behalf of everyone else. As long as the final moment hasn't come, it's still not too late. Don't worry. I will keep hope alive for everyone until the very end.
Stand your ground, 10 toes.
Well, that's enough for now. I got the impulse to play the stricken maiden, but honestly, considering my rank and station, that wasn't a good fit at all.
You are
Don't
not.
take any
fully-
of what I just said seriously. How could I possibly let Fontaine fall to the whims of trivial prophecy?
You are not built.
Come on! Paimon could have sworn you were actually being honest just now.
That's because she was. Running out of time. You don't gotta do this alone. Although I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone. Your people are more willing to share your burden with you.
Share my burden. That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone.
But even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, you could still choose to in someone. Talk to me. Just share it with me. I'm what you call a witness.
A witness. Yes, I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars, yes. In other words, you never belonged here.
No, sir.
And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're just a spectator, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
If that's the case...
There's no time left, please. Just spit it out. You can do it. Come on. Come on. Oh, fuck. Oh, that's fucked up. Yeah, that's cold. It's cold. You're cold.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my opening performance.
Y'all niggas is
Now,
cold
without
for that.
further ado, we may proceed to the trial of our god.
That's cold.
So, this is what it is. Yes, you deserve praise for the effort you took to raise the dramatic stakes. Do not forget, however, that I am Focalor, the god
Well,
of
I feel like she was
justice,
about to get
the
real honest
embodiment
with
of
me. Hold up,
justice
did I just
itself.
get hoodwinked?
Does it not strike you as even the least bit absurd to bring the very
did not ask for
concept
this.
of justice to trial?
Whoa.
May I interpret these words as your refusal to stand trial? In that case, you will have the opportunity to defend your honor through a duel.
Oh, shit.
You would draw your blade against a god? I see. It seems like you have made up your mind.
Paimon can't believe it. She just surrendered!
What the heck is going on? Did I just see an Archon surrender to a human?
Wow, how utterly humiliating.
Watch your fucking
Lady
mouth, bro.
Furine, what is the meaning of this?
Shh. It would seem that there has been a misunderstanding. To be clear, the raising of both hands is not always an indication of surrender.
Looking for excuses again, huh?
I raised my hands just now to indicate my acceptance of the trial. No duel shall be necessary. I will admit that I've been running away for a long time. I'm sorry, everyone. I was unable to protect the people of Poisson. It is my duty to stand trial for my crimes. You are not the only ones to be disappointed in me. I, too, am exceedingly disappointed in myself. But now, it is time for the Hydro Archon to show you her courage and resolve.
Alright, 10 toes.
Furina, will use this trial to show the world the true meaning of justice.
Alright.
This time, I will protect you.
Okay. 10 toes.
Applaud and rejoice.
Stand
One
on
of
business.
the most outrageous and fantastical arcs known to the opera epiclese is now unfolding before your eyes.
Stand
Mark
on...
my words. This shall be one
Oh,
of
she did
the
her idol
most
animation.
exhilarating and brilliant shows
Stand
ever
on
to
business.
grace the stage of Fontaine. The trial of the Hydro Archon,
I thought I got that picture.
Fussalor, will now begin!
Woohoo!
Oh, now we're making history.
Yeah, niggas is demons. 10 toes.
Why does
on
it feel like
business.
Farina just took over the whole thing?
10 toes.
Come
on
on!
bu- She's not
Did
actually
she just
standing.
get forced to stand trial for her crimes?
I'm not gonna lie to you. She's not actually standing on business. She is struggling. She is pretending to stand on business. She is dying on the inside, and I can feel it. Hey, woman, it's okay. Just gotta be just a little bit honest. She is struggling. She's like, fuck. Nigga, we're gonna die.
Also, even though she's still acting super dramatic, she is taking this seriously this time, right?
Yes.
All right, then. Who will be my opponent in this trial?
The court asks the prosecutor to please take the stand.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is that so? Very well. Then please speak, witness of Tivat, my accuser and fated opponent.
We were so close to getting her to tell the truth. It still turns out like this in the end. It's okay though, as long as we can defeat, we'll have a chance to figure everything out. Coran was about to get her hands though, I ain't gonna lie, Coran, you a better woman than me. I couldn't do it.
Also, please allow me to ask, as a final question before the trial begins. Just how much work did you do to force me onto this stage?
Well, we did do a lot of prep after the meeting that day.
I can go over the tasks assigned to the Spina di Rosula, since they were rather straightforward and easy.
Navia, the president of the Spina di Rosula.
Most of the people who participated in the disturbance this morning were my subordinates. They
Jesus.
changed into plain clothes and came to the Opera House as regular audience members, waiting for the perfect opportunity to incite insurrection against you. The people's resentment against their Archon has been building as more and more of the prophecy is fulfilled. A spark was all we needed to turn smoldering anger into a flame. Moreover, according to our understanding and analysis of you, when something like that occurred, you would likely flee the scene and head to Poisson by yourself.
Jesus.
So, we arranged for a second group to lie in wait there.
So, you mean, the ones who scoured the settlement for me were also from the Spina?
And their goal was to force you to step into the giant magic box so you may personally participate in the greatest magic performance in all of Fontanian history.
Damn, Lenny, don't gotta
That's
flex on
right.
her too.
That house was a magic box, rather than someone's residence.
As the super ultimate version of the setup that I used when I first performed at the Opera Epiclese,
you do not have to
the
flex on
volume
her
of the
too,
box
lady.
was increased by a whole order of magnitude, and the distance it traversed was the entire gap between Poisson and Araneas. Its cargo, of course, was an Archon instead of a human. My thanks, Furina. Without your help, we could never have pulled off such an extraordinary performance.
She was about to tell me the truth.
You're welcome.
Of course, this performance was only made possible with Father's support. The House of the Hearth spent a massive amount of labor in Mora to pull this off. We had to select a location, construct the giant magic box, dig a tunnel, and open up a path through the water. It was a lot of work for all of us.
So, in other words, the earthquake that we felt within the giant magic box was just a normal tremor from the transportation of the whole house?
That's right. It wasn't a sign of another disaster to come.
Sorry about that. We had to cook you.
Then, I can guess Nervilette and Cloran's parts. You gathered a crowd, prepared a stage, and made sure that the champion duelist would be immediately ready for a fight.
Why she have an iron sting?
Also that as soon as I appeared on the stage, the trial may commence without a hitch. Am I right?
Yes, that is correct.
Well, Clorand, I must commend you for your courage. Only the most outstanding champion duelist in all of Fontaine would accept a duel with an Archon without flinching.
Thank you.
As for you, Traveler, I suppose your role was to keep me distracted with conversation once you found me in Poisson. You'd make sure that I didn't notice anything amiss before revealing yourself as my prosecutor once we'd arrived onto the stage.
No,
Oh?
my mission was to give you one last chance. We was hoping you would share your secrets with us before the magic box arrived onto the stage.
Is that so? Then I suppose I must have missed my final chance. It's fine. It matters not. What's done is done. The stage is already set, so there's no reason to disappoint the audience. Let's see this trial through to the very end.
I'm going to be here for like 3 hours, aren't I? Yeah, the only thing we do now is to judge the Hydra Archon. Still, I can't help but to feel a little burdened at the conversation early. What did Furine
Madam
say?
Prosecutor, please allow me to pass this along. This is a document that Miss Charlotte applied for and received permission to share with you during the trial. According to her, it should speed up the proceedings.
I didn't get to read what...
Charlotte wanted to give us something? Oh, so she's here too! Hey, Charlotte!
Oh, baby girl, I skipped all your dialogue choices.
Oh,
My
let
fault.
Paimon see. Isn't... Wait, then that means this document is a perfect timeline of everything that's happened ever since we stepped foot in Fontaine!
Damn, Charlotte.
So in other words, we can refer to this anthology of evidence every time we want to use something from our journey as evidence for an argument!
Super practical.
Quickly
Good.
confirm the information in it. Just think of it as a refresher, alright?
No,
You defeated the Hydro Archon in the very first duel you...
don't care. No, don't not care, Charlotte.
The prosecution and the defense are
Why do you
both in
fuck?
position.
Don't give a fuck.
The trial shall now begin.
Oh, come on, Nervilette. There's no need to repeat all the unimportant legalese. Just fast forward to the part where the prosecution lays out my offenses. As the defendant and the lead actress of this performance, I still haven't even been informed of my supposed guilt in all of this. Of course, it is only natural for humans to struggle to understand the actions of a god. However,
God.
you will need more than that to convict me of a crime.
That's true, but my charge here is unrelated to your conduct as an Archon. Instead, I would like to charge you as a fraud who's never been the Archon in the first place.
Jesus
Wait,
fuck.
what was that?
Whoa, me?
Lady
You can't
Furina's a
talk.
fraud?
You can't. You can't
I came here
shout?
thinking that we were going to try the Hydro Archon
Whoa,
for
what
Forsaken
the fuck,
Doom,
Blue Mean? You got a voice
I
actor?
hear that right?
What the hell? You've been
Not an
talking to
Archon
me
at
in
all.
every quest.
Charge accepted.
Yo, fuck. You were defending your right to be an Archon.
Lady Furine, do you plead guilty to the charge?
Damn.
Lady Furine,
I plead not guilty. How can I be guilty? There is no way that I, Focalor, otherwise known as Furine de Fontaine, a member of the Seven and the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws of Fontaine, could be anything other than your true Archon.
Yeah. Even though Lady Furine can be rather eccentric, isn't it going too far to doubt her very identity?
Yeah, I've never questioned her identity either.
That's crazy.
Sure, Lady Furine can be super irresponsible.
She has like a
But
thousand
what
ways to
grounds
prove
does that
she's an
prosecutor
Archon.
have to make
God
such a
can't
huge
die.
claim?
Simple, just like
I
killer.
have cause to believe that common sense will
God
prevail in this case.
Can't die.
Many of
so
the
it's
members of
really
the audience
easy.
have
I've been
known
around
me
for
as the
500
Hydro
years.
Archon ever since they were born. There would be no fooling their memory. See? Even the Oratrice has decided to show me its favor. Are you sure you want to commit to a charge that will never be upheld? If you wish to drop the case, I can promise you as the God of Justice that you will not have to face trial for making a false accusation. We will treat everything that's happened as a dramatic spectacle and move on with our lives. What do you say to that?
An argument with near impossible odds, huh? We have to not only refute Furina's claims, but also overturn the long-held beliefs of the people.
Yes, Navia.
Well, I tried to give you the chance to surrender. If you must persist, then let me ask. If you believe I'm not the Archon, then what manner of being do you think I am? And if I was not the Archon, then how did I manage to live for over 500 years?
Carefully. You know about the special of Furine exactly. Choose the most reasonable, relevant, meaning with the knave. Also relevant.
First of all, you may be a member of another long-lived race, which would allow you to naturally possess an extended lifespan. And second of all, even if that wasn't the case, there could be other ways to extend your life.
Such as a curse.
Who gave you that idea? Was it the knave? You'd sink so low as to use a harbinger's words against me.
If it doesn't matter who gives them, what matters is the verity of the
A
claim.
curse? I once thought it possible that the aura of an Archon might naturally resemble a type of curse. But in light of this claim, perhaps what I sensed was not your divinity, but a curse after all.
Neville had sensed it too, huh?
Instead of Furine, instead of an Archon, could have just been a cursed
Lady
team.
Furine is actually a human?
Well, it is true that it's extremely difficult to tell humans and gods apart just by looking at them. It's not impossible.
Jesus. Jesus, Furine, you're getting cooked.
Well, don't start celebrating too early now. Even if I have been carrying a curse like you said, how does that prove that I am merely a human being? Besides, everyone knows that the main difference between a human and a god is the possession of authority. Gods can do what humans cannot. That's why they're worshipped as gods.
True.
For centuries, manifestations of my authority have served the nation of Fontaine. One need only to turn their eyes towards the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal in this very opera house, or consider the endemitium that is used in every aspect of life.
True. Wait, there's another child proving the opposite. Furine doesn't have no control over the trees. And that's child. You stupid woman. You goofy.
You tried to reference the Oratrice, but weren't you as confused as all the rest of us when the Oratrice declared Child to be guilty without any proof. Otherwise, you should have come up with a good explanation for that by now.
Oh?
Didn't I make myself clear at the time? The decisions of the gods are naturally difficult for humans to comprehend. There is no need to provide an explanation.
Lady Furine, I believe a reminder of your current circumstances is in order.
Talk your shit.
While the court is in session, the principles of justice and the law must come before all else. While you are an Archon, you are also first and foremost the defendant in this trial. You will prove yourself unable to defend against the prosecution's charges if you continue to withhold vital information against the rules of the court.
I never thought you'd use that kind of rhetoric against me.
That was no trick of rhetoric, Lady Furine. I've merely reiterated the rules of the court. Rules that all should respect and follow.
On business.
So, you neither knew why Child was declared guilty, nor did you understand the structure and operations of the Oratrice. Instead of having been created by you, the manifestations of authority you mentioned have been made by the real Hydro Archon, haven't they?
The real Hydro Archon? Well, now you're really losing me. It is true that I did not know why the Oratrice gave out a guilty verdict that day. But the Oratrice handed out that verdict unilaterally, and it has been operating independently ever since it was first created. You can't argue that just because a divine creation is flawed, that the god behind it must also be no god at all.
She's still throwing out all kinds of excuses. Seems like she's confident that we won't be able to produce proof that she has no power over the Oratrice.
But then, Miss Furine, could you just give us a brief demonstration of your power as an
My
Archon?
power as an Archon? There are many ordinary citizens in the audience. How can I just carelessly demonstrate the formidable power of an Archon?
Very easy.
If that poses a concern, I'm prepared to extend my protection to the audience.
Damn.
You don't need to go that far.
A brief demonstration of your power over seems quite harmless. Surely an Archon can at least match the capability of a human with a vision.
Aren't you the Hydro Archon? Or is it that you can't even wield the power of Hydro, much less the authority of a god?
Damn.
Indemnitium! Yes! It's all because of Indemnitium! All Archons derive their power from the faith of the people, and I've converted the people's faith in justice into Indemnitium. Thus did I give up all of my divine power to provide everyone with energy for their daily lives. Have you ever seen a more magnanimous god?
Isn't that a huge stretch?
Yeah, no matter how generous an Archon can be, how could they give up all their power? Can a god with no power even still be called a god?
She's not wrong, technically. She's still getting cooked.
It seems like nobody's buying Furine's excuse.
It's not wrong, though. It's not.
Hey, come now, everyone. Please don't stare at me as if I was a liar. I'm still the same Furine you knew, right? The one that you loved. Shouldn't you want to believe in me? Please? You've got to believe me.
If what the prosecutor said is true, she really has committed a grave offense.
Did she deceive all of us? And all of our parents and grandparents too? And then all of our ancestors? Ever since they were born?
Enough. That's enough. Tell me then, if I'm not the real Hydro Archon, then who is?
Got you.
If you have no evidence of another Hydro Archon's existence, nor can you find anyone who can back up their claim to be such, then what grounds have you to say that I'm not actually the real deal?
Oh.
Wow, she came up with yet another argument.
Lenny.
That doesn't sound...
No, what the fuck? It's literally Lenny. Oh. My controller! Yeah. No.
It has been established that all Fontanians can dissolve in water from the primordial sea. And that means...
Since you insist on claiming to be a god and not a human, then there's a method that you can use right here and now to eliminate all suspicions of you being the latter.
Whoa!
Miss Navia, please apply to serve as a temporary attorney for the prosecution before addressing the court. Though you act in partnership with the prosecutor, you must still adhere to proper procedure.
Super sorry, Monsieur. Now, I've brought some seawater from Poisson. As everyone knows, including those of some of my closest friends. So, Miss Furina, would you dare to touch some of the seawater?
You still didn't answer the question.
If we are to believe that you are indeed the real Hydro Archon, touching the seawater would have no effect on you. All it should do is strengthen your case. But if you don't dare to touch it, then we would have basically proved the reverse.
You're not answering the question.
Oh, and I must remind you that after the disaster at Poisson, nobody wants to see any more people dissolve. I do hope you'll act prudently and choose the simpler path of admitting guilt.
Navia from the Spina di Rasula. The Spina...
If Lady Furina is indeed just a human, she's probably a Fontanian like all the rest of us. Would she really dare to try?
Business. On business. Furina?
Lady Furina, this test has been unilaterally proposed by the prosecution. As it falls outside the realm of standard court proceedings, you possess the right to decline participation.
Well, of course he had to tell her that. But refusing to participate is basically the same as a confession of guilt.
She's just staring at the water without saying a single word. It really does seem like she's quite terrified of it. That could only mean...
What's going on? Is she really planning to... that's not what we thought she would...
Due to the inherent risk of the test, Lady Furina, you may...
It's actually...
Hey!
I'm fine! Look at me, everyone! My hand is still here! I haven't been dissolved! Will you believe me now? I really am your Archon! I'm nothing like a normal human who would fall apart as soon as they touch this water! Really? Was this not the most obvious thing in the world?
Miss Siegewin? If you're present, Miss Siegewin, please come forward and attend to the defendant.
Damn, we got countered.
Don't be nervous. It'll just take a few seconds.
She is getting full counter. She is getting
that should be
enough.
Please announce the results of your evaluation to the court, Miss Siegewin.
As everyone doubtlessly saw, Miss Furina was displaying symptoms of hyperventilation and flushed skin. These indicate that she was experiencing the adverse effects of exposure to primordial seawater. The extent to which she was affected is the same as other humans when exposed to primordial seawater of a similar concentration.
Thank you, Miss Siegewin. Lady Furina, you may return to the defendant's stand.
Oh, wait. What did she just say? I didn't get dissolved. Shouldn't that be enough to prove my innocence?
Well, considering your tendency to run from your problems, we did originally prepare a direct sample of the seawater around Poisson. However, after extensive discussion, we exchanged it for a sample that is not concentrated enough to dissolve. We don't want anyone else to lose.
Yeah, so out of regard for Furina's life, you secured a low-concentration sample. It's a great thing that the direct sample wasn't actually used. Furina could have...
I can't believe
We really can't know the consequences of touching the water as a human. This is unlike how she usually acts, unless it's actually more important for her to. She hadn't given up on everything a long time ago.
Listen to me! Listen to me, everyone! Please don't give me such cold and disdainful looks! What happened just now didn't prove a single thing! Think about it! How can you conclusively prove that an Archon can't also be affected by the primordial seawater? Also, if I was really just a human, why would I dare to just put my hand in that kind of water?
Damn.
Please, anyone, just listen to me.
She's
I
getting
swear,
fucking
I really
jujutsu
am your
fault.
Archon.
Golly, she's getting fault. You've been put on fraud watch.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. The odds are just too stacked against her now.
With all the things that have been said, Paimon doesn't think there's any way left for Furine to win.
I believe the time for arguments and presentation of evidence has come to an end. If there are no objections, we will move on to the final judgment.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. She's too stacked against her now.
Damn. She got cooked.
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on Furina's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of Fontaine. As a human who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens, Furina is...
Damn.
guilty.
Uh-oh. Prophecy stands.
We shall now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges.
You got her sitting like the prophecy. That's crazy.
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Furina is...
Well, what's wrong? What's the Oratrice's verdict?
No, the Oratrice also displays a guilty verdict.
Isn't that correct then?
However, the exact wording of the verdict is thus: the Hydro Archon, guilty, to be punished via the death sentence.
The death sentence?
That's actually one of the available sentences? I've always thought that it was just a myth.
The one and only time the death sentence has been handed out at the court, and it's been given to the very person we've worshipped as the god of justice? What an unexpected twist.
Furina's been sentenced to death by the Oratrice? We just wanted to use the trial to show her the seriousness of things so she'd tell us the truth.
You fucked up.
How did things escalate this quickly?
This outcome is indeed quite strange. According to Fontaine's current definitions of justice, as well as its recommendations for criminal sentences, is this sentence really appropriate for the crimes that have been committed?
Yeah! Even Vacher wasn't sentenced to death by the Oratrice. You know, the real evil mastermind behind the serial disappearances case.
Indeed. Not only is Furina's sentence overly excessive, the very point of our trial today was also to prove that Furina has never been the Hydro Archon in the first place. But now, the Oratrice seems to have deliberately invoked the title of the Hydro Archon. What does this mean?
I'm the Hydro Archon, you dumb fuck. You stupid dicks.
Excuse me, if I may interrupt. Is the trial still going?
Fremine! Oh, you finally made it.
Mm-hmm. any mission Father assigned.
Is that the first prophecy slate? Huh. So the knave privately arranged for.
I looked everywhere and finally found it at the bottom of the sea. But has the trial already concluded? Then doesn't that mean I've come too late? Oh
No, it's not
no.
Furine. It's not too late
Father
for you to
will be
shine, baby boy.
disappointed in me.
Thank you for your hard work, Mr. Furine. Please allow me to review the record left on the slate. Traveler, I believe that you have already seen the other existing slates, and would like you to come here and confirm their contents.
Huh? So what do you see?
Previous
What is
Hydro
it?
used a divine power to turn oceanids into human beings.
I believe I have now made sense of the Hydro Archon's crime. It has to do with Fontaine's lost history.
Huh? Isn't the Hydro Archon just guilty of deceiving her people? Oh, wait, no, that's Furina, and we've already proven that she's not the Hydro Archon. So when you say Hydro Archon, do you mean the real?
In truth, everything that you've encountered in Fontaine up until this point can be traced back to the contents of these stone slates. However, I'm uncertain as to how much sense they currently make to you.
You stupid fucks.
Let's try to.
Yeah, just fulfilled the prophecy. You goofies? Goofies? You fulfilled the prophecy, goofies. Dummies. Because she now sat up in the chair.
The first stone slate describes what you just said. It seems to show the previous Hydro Archon using her divine power, and then the Oceanids turn into humans. Does that mean that Fontanians are the second stone slate shows Celeste? This must be the point when the third slate shows the Hydro Archons. That reminds. Well, the fourth slate is the prophets. We didn't believe that such a creep. That doesn't.
Yes. Yeah,
we know from the
goofies.
case of and this.
I fucked that up.
That doesn't.
No.
That doesn't.
Perhaps what is about to take place has all happened before. The true sin of the Hydro Archon that Nervilette mentioned, and the original sin cast down on the people of Fontaine by Celestia, as recorded on the stone slates.
People.
It's not a sin when Navi at the stone. The prophets, if we.
Dumbos.
They'll dissolve into the primordial. The Hydro Archon was sentenced to death. Navia fell into the water. The eruption of the primordial. The stone slate's contents can all be.
Yeah, I had to skip that. I already got it.
Huh? Oh, Paimon gets it now. So that's how you can make sense of it. But then it feels like.
First
going
person
to
is
have
that
to share
Fontanians
some
are not real.
Let's hear them.
Y'all niggas is not real.
Incredible.
You
Lenny,
niggas is
did you
not
hear
real.
that?
You're oceanids.
Not real humans.
All Fontanians were originally created by the late previous Hydro Archon, with Oceanids as their basis. The evidence for that can be found in how only Fontanians could dissolve in primordial seawater, and how all the girls Vacher dissolved were also turned into Oceanids. Oh, and according to Navia, when she was about to get dissolved, she also saw everyone gathered around for a trial, all of them in the shape of
Second state
Oceanids.
reveals.
Indeed.
follows from the content of the first slate that she probably anchored Celestia by creating humans without prior permission. That could also explain why the Oratrice judged the Hydro Archon to be guilty. It's to account for that ancient sin.
The Hydro Archon's true sin was creating us?
And yet, after many hundreds of years, the Hydro Archon's creations have turned around to try to judge the Archon within the Opera Epiclese. The twists of history are often the most unexpected of all.
Yeah, isn't the image here just like when Navia fell into the sea? So wouldn't it be trying to show the image of the Hydro Archon also falling into the sea once the prophecy has been fulfilled in the fourth slate? In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away. Did Paimon get all that right?
You've made some keen deductions. I must say, given how much you still don't know, it is impressive that you've already managed to connect so many pieces of the truth. However, while you were able to decode all the information on the slates, they've also been etched with an additional layer of hidden information using a different power source. When we were at the ruins, I tried to decipher that. Now that the slate collection is complete,
You just judged your god.
Well? Did you get it?
I believe I should share this truth not only with you, but with all the people of Fontaine as well.
Niggas ain't
I will
real.
try to briefly summarize it for you.
They're ocean creatures.
Your hypotheses regarding the origin of Fontainians and the sin of the Hydro Archon were both correct. In the Fontaine of old, the previous Hydro Archon sensed the yearning of her Oceanid familiars for life on land. The Oceanids were enamored with the beauty and romanticism of human beings, and wishing to have those experiences for themselves, expressed to the Hydro Archon their desire to become of a similar kind. However, even though water as an element is intricately linked with the power of life, the Hydro Archon, as one of the seven, did not possess the authority to create a new form of human life. Not one to give in, she eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her familiars by appropriating the power of this planet's primordial sea. She poured primordial seawater into the Oceanid's blood. But if Fontainians were to ever come into direct contact with water from the primordial sea, the power within their bodies would escape these artificial restraints and return to the sea. As a result, their forms would collapse, and they would be reverted to their original forms as Oceanids. Of course, the Hydro Archon never received permission from the heavenly principles to create a new human race. And thus, the Hydro Archon and all of her creations came to shoulder the original sin of appropriating the power of the primordial sea. That is the true history.
So you...
That's way too much information for me. Wait, but if that's the truth, we can't let the Hydro Archon be sentenced to death. After all, her only sin was creating us.
This really might be too much information for your regular Fontainian.
Alas, your hypothesis regarding the third and fourth stone slates was inaccurate. The slates' respective positions are, in fact, correct. A key point of the visual on the third slate is how all the individuals depicted in the water are humans rather than Oceanids. They have not been dissolved, which implies that the water depicted in this slate is not water from the primordial sea. The nation of Fontaine is the nation of Hydro, as well as the nation of trials and justice. Instead of being the literal element, the water in the scene symbolizes judgment and justice. You may also recall Navia's experience. When she fell into the sea, her consciousness was surrounded by that of many others who intended to hold a trial to determine her fate. Therefore, the meaning of the third slate is that the people of Fontaine shall try the Hydro Archon at the court of justice.
Yeah, Goofy.
Yes, it refers to our present situation.
I think I'm following now. So, what you're saying is, even though we decided to put on this trial to avoid fulfilling the prophecy, in truth, everything we've done has happened exactly as the prophecy foretold. So now, it seems, we're the ones making sure it comes true.
Oh, there ain't no way out. This is fucked up.
What should we do?
Huh. No matter what, the prophecy will be fulfilled.
That's what happens when you fucking...
Is this what it feels like to be a prisoner of fate?
If that's the case, does that mean the scene in the fourth slate will also be fulfilled soon?
Traveler, I would like to point out another small fallacy in your deductions. About the fourth slate, you probably thought that the eruption of primordial seawater beneath the fortress of Meripede served as the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass, yes? However, I believe that rather than being a sure sign, that eruption could in fact only be a small warning of something far worse to come. As for the root cause of the catastrophe, I believe you've already encountered it once before.
Bro, it's the narwhal. I knew it.
This eruption was just a small warning of the things to
narwhal.
come. We must find...
It's the narwhal. It's the
It was both dream.
If we're talking about a true culprit, that could only be that thing inside the primordial sea, right?
The truth, the original sin.
I knew it. It's the narwhal. Swimming in the ocean, causing a commotion. Look at y'all. Who didn't believe we were God? That's crazy. Step on business. How did you get back up there? Okay. Okay, like, fuck. Oh, without legacy. Fighting Flash! Damn, child. Damn, Tortax.
That was way too close! How did that thing just burst into the opera house? Wait, was
I'd wager that was the
huge
one that
whale you
Charles
saw
saw
in
when he
your
was younger.
dream?
So we've met it at last. I understand very well why it has chosen to make an appearance here. That whale does not belong to Tevat. It is a monster that has traversed the stars, weeping all the while. It has been greedily consuming the energy from the planet's primordial sea, using it to grow. That is the main cause for the rising sea levels. And once it has finished consuming all of the energy contained within the sea, its next step will be...
You said that when the Hydro Archon first created Fontanians out of Oceanids, she filled their blood vessels with primordial seawater.
Precisely. That whale finds the blood of Fontanians nigh impossible to resist. Therefore, when it left the primordial sea, it decided to make its next stop a packed opera house full of food. Food in the form of Fontanians.
We just barely managed to push it back, right? In that case, won't it come back to target the people again once it's managed to recover its strength?
That is correct. Indeed, it is more accurate to say that we should thank that Harbinger for buying us some time. Without him, the whale would have likely come onto land far sooner. From the way he looked, he must have been fighting the creature for quite a long time.
That battle maniac. We've always known that he had a special connection with that whale, but we definitely didn't expect it to help us out like this. Anyway, now that we know that this whale is the actual cause of the disaster recorded in the prophecy, all we need to do to stop the prophecy would be to find a way to beat it up, right?
It is too late. It had already absorbed too much of the primordial sea's energy before we could notice it. At this point, it has become practically integrated with the sea itself. Even if the entirety of Tevat were to be destroyed, it could still survive and swim off towards some other world.
That's not something I will accept. We've already done everything we can, and we even found the true culprit. We've come so far. You can't just tell me that the—
Indeed, that's not how a grand performance should end.
How?
I'll fight it to the end, no matter what.
So the prophecy will be fulfilled no matter what, huh?
The prophecy.
We could infer it against fate. Wait. But if this is all about fate, yes?
Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods' gaze does not fall? Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Tevat's future.
There will still be a way to save him. Did I miss something? You did, Goofies. The last moment in the... What is her real secret?
What's happening with the oratories?
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
No, I still need answers.
Oh my god! Time for people to start yapping for 7 hours. Time for the Yap Fest. Come on, start yapping. I'm here for it. The 3-hour yapping. Come on here looking all smug. You.
You.
Sorry. That shocked expression on your face is just too amusing. I couldn't help myself.
You are not Furina. Who are you?
The sweet sound of bewilderment. Marvelous. A sure sign that my attempt to deceive everyone was a resounding success. But to answer your question, I am Focalor. You know, the god.
Focalor? Why did you deceive us?
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Goodness, no. But I had to fool everyone else too, if I was to stand any chance of deceiving the heavenly principles.
Deceiving the heavenly principles?
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve. Fontaine condemned to be flooded.
One was not amused. In fact, one was positively bemused when that problem was thrust upon me by my dearest predecessor. That's the former Hydro Archon Egeria for the uninitiated. It hardly gets more disastrous than a preordained national catastrophe, now does it? She knew full well that the prophecy would surely come to pass. And as one of the seven, she also knew full well that one defies the heavenly principles at one's peril. So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather impossible situation that I found myself in. I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor. And I was almost growing barnacles by the time I finally realized there was only one possible solution to this confounding conundrum. I had to outwit the heavenly principles, allow the prophecy to be fulfilled, ostensibly at least, while saving everyone at the same time. I'm a genius, I know. I can only assume that's why Egeria chose me as her successor. Although, looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance one dreams of. Between the task of saving the nation, the quotidian duties of the Hydro Archon, and not to mention the original sin of creating a new race of humans, I dare say she left me quite a colossal mess to clean up. But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this, any more than I chose to be one of her Oceanid familiars.
So you were also once one of the Oceanids, transformed into a human by Egeria's hand?
Yes, I was.
You Oceanids.
I always dreamed of becoming human. And I
That
still
fun, bro.
do,
It's like, it's
even
pretty
now.
high.
In my eyes, to be human is to be part of the greatest opera ever known. After becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my past self on her first day as a human being. The me you see before you now is that divinity, and the human counterpart I left behind, I named Furine. She could feel joy, sorrow, and everything in between. She could be as vain and conceited, or as meek and vulnerable as she
I'm not
wished.
gonna lie, I think you kind of
Her
fucked her whole life
strengths
up.
were of a kind only
I'm
a
not gonna
human
lie.
could possess, as were her shortcomings. But
I mean,
in
you can give her
my
a compliment all
eyes,
you want. I think she's pretty
Furina's
fucked mentally.
humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly human in every way.
She looks so
The person I always wanted to be. Anyway, so then I cursed her.
Oh, damn, you just can't
All
say that
part
so
of the plan, of
quickly.
course. The plan to deceive the heavenly principles. Do you still remember the final scene of the prophecy? The Hydra Archon alone, weeping on her throne. In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Furine to be an actress, to play the part of the Hydro Archon in the prophecy. Under the curse I placed on her, so long as I, Focalor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she free to
Jesus
live her
Christ.
life in the pursuit of happiness. Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the opera house, to embrace the role of leading
Kinda
lady,
mentally fucked.
to
I'm not
forever
gonna lie,
play
you're
the part
kind of a
of the
demon
god
for this.
from the prophecy, all to create a deceitful appearance
kind of a
of that
demon for
prophecy
this.
coming to pass. I suppose now you probably understand why your court is called the Opera Epiclese.
But Furine is only human, isn't she? Even though she has had a long life, her mind is no stronger than that of any other ordinary human being. I cannot begin to fathom what she has had to
That's
endure.
beyond torture.
It must have been torture for her.
It has indeed. And although she is In a sense, me in human form.
Bitch, you owe her
I
more
most
than an
definitely
apology.
owe her an apology for it.
Bitch, you owe her more
It's
than
been
that.
500 years. And all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and agonizingly painful opera of all time.
That's demon shit. I'm not gonna lie. That's wild. But it's all for the sake of the people, so I can't be too mad. I'm just a little mad. You're a demon for this stuff. That's some demon shit. I ain't gonna lie. You're a monster. You're a fucking monster. But you're a good monster. You're a monster, but it's for the greater good. Still a monster though, but for the greater good. Still a demon, still for the greater good. Don't look at me with that smile on your face. You have no melanin. Man, she's been through it. She's been through it. You can't even call her an Archon because she wasn't. So I can't be like, oh, you're the greatest Archon ever because you were never really an Archon. You were just struggling, baby girl. They just had you in the woods. They had her in the mud, bro. Golly. You good? You want a hug? You want some cheesecake? Some Oreos? Some Chips Ahoy for this bitch? I don't know if we can get some Chips Ahoy here. I think we're like in your Mindscape. Like some bleach type shit. I ain't gonna lie. If I had to go through that, you better give me some fucking Chips Ahoy, bro. No, Oreos. Oreos is way better than Chips Ahoy. I don't know. What am I talking about? This is a serious moment right now.
Oh, who permitted you to come onto this stage? Now, I understand your admiration for my august self, but I must ask you to keep to the rules. All right. It is not my intent to reprimand you. There is no need to state your name. Just be off with you. Do not distract me from my performance.
What's the audience here? Just let the stage light goes off, please, if only for a second.
Do not jest. Can you not feel
That
it?
way I can become
I am
myself again.
Focalor. The eyes of countless Fontanians are upon me. I must, at all times, display the utmost elegance and nobility.
Even in her heart of hearts, she's still playing the role. It's resolved, not something that in herself is subconsciously have to find a way. She said destroy the lights. She don't want to be on stage. Hey.
Crush! Dear audience,
Run it.
the performance is experiencing a technical difficulty, but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon enough.
Run it.
Crush!
You know what? It's pretty good that I rolled for actually Furine. Oh no, this is the inner self versus the future self type shit. This is a Bleach. You know what? I ain't gonna lie. This is kind of cool. It's kind of cooler this way.
Hey, what gives? The audience is still watching me, you know. Guards! Wait, where are the guards? Guards!
I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of cooler this way. I feel like the actual Furine.
Shut her!
Playing like the actual Furine. I ain't gonna lie. Wait, I'm dying. I'm dying. Yo,
let's call a ceasefire.
it's me. Whoa, weave. How much am I healing for? Shit. Back to being ass?
Quietly now.
You got Tetra or something here?
Stop that!
Oh, in the bow. Oh, I ain't gonna lie. It's way cooler this way. I don't know why, but I feel it's way cooler this way. You know you're not technically supposed to have the real Furine, but it's way cooler this way. Or some like bleach shit right now. We like when there's bleach, like kind of fighting back on our inner self right now. So, that's why self-love. Furine's heart, they may symbolize in the eyes of the people who are close. Speaking of which, I think I just read some sort of signal. Is that her true voice? A ticket. Well, that end of the year. Ooh. Sit, bitch. Either way, it looks like the show's about to begin. In that case, show me how you truly feel, Furina. Scene 1. Before a mirror. See? I knew it was sick that I had the other one. You can do this fucking some bleach shit, bro. It's like some bleach shit. You know, I had the other Frida, you know, she was fighting back a little bit, you know what I'm saying? It was a little symbolic. It's a little cool. Maybe ruined the plot a little bit, but fuck it.
Furina. Furina.
Huh? Who's that? Who's calling me? Where are you?
Be not nervous. Be not afraid. I am before you.
Wait a moment. You're mirror me? How can this be?
Mirror you, huh? You know what?
Bitch.
That's not bad. Let's go with that.
Mirror me.
Get down on my eye level.
What do you wish to say?
The prophecy. Have you heard of it?
What prophecy? Wait. I know. I think. I don't know why, but it's in my head somehow. The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Oh.
Why are you taller than me?
Very good. You know it well.
Look me eye level.
What's
Look me
going
eye level.
on? I can't seem to remember anything clearly. The only thing I know for sure is this prophecy.
Probably.
Will it really come to pass?
Yes, it will. And that is why I've come to you. Disaster will come to Fontaine sooner or later. Things will develop just as the prophecy declared. There is no escaping it.
But doesn't that mean everyone will die? I'm a Fontainian just like them. Will I dissolve too?
Oh, don't worry. Magical meetings exist in this world precisely to give people a chance to turn things around. It is the reason why you met me today. I will tell you how to save everyone, but you may have to suffer somewhat.
Oh, so there's still hope after all. Goodness, you frightened me. You spoke so much and with so much certainty. As for the suffering, well, I will admit that the first thing that came to mind was, why do I have to be the one to suffer? But if the prophecy will come true, I'll also die anyway, right? So if I've already met you as my magical meeting in this world, if there were scales, with all the people of Fontaine on one side and my pain on the other,
oh, that's
is it not obvious where the scales should tilt?
Oh, Brady, you can't be coming here shooting
You
bars
truly
like that.
are the perfect human. My ideal. I suppose this would also be the justice that belongs to you.
Huh?
Don't worry, it's nothing. Listen well. Fontaine has just lost its Hydro Archon. I need you to play a role. That of the new Archon.
Play as a god?
That's right. You must begin a never-ending masquerade. You must never let anyone suspect your identity. If you can keep it up, then I shall have my way of defying this prophecy. But should your identity be revealed, then all hope will be lost.
But how will I do this? A human assuming the role of a god without being exposed.
Don't worry. What you must do is not to turn yourself into a real god. You simply need to play the role of a god as humans imagine them to be. Being a human yourself, I'm sure you already know what such an entity would be like. Remember, your true challenge will not be pursuing divinity, but contending against humanity.
I'm still not sure I understand.
No shadow
but
keeps changing.
I'll try. I'll try to do this. So, how long am I going to have to play this role?
To accomplish this mission, you will have to stay on the stage for many, many years. You will endure and not grow old until your task ends. But I promise you, all will eventually end in a magnificent and dramatic trial, and everyone will be saved.
A trial, huh? How exciting.
No, you will not.
I'll be looking
You
forward
will not
to
be
it.
looking forward to that trial at all. No, you will not. You will be getting cooked. Grew your hair out, got the new fit, dripping in white. Oh my god. I know, I saw it, camera. Let me just admire my drip, bro. Damn. The new drip. Oh, she's beautiful. She's the queen. On the scene, living in a dream. No, she is not.
The Maison Cardinalise has announced my accession, but this is my first time facing the people. What should I say to most appear like a god? To be honest, I still don't know. Perhaps I should first try to act natural. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to the Opera Epiclese. I'm sure you've all heard about how I have taken on the role of Hydro Archon. Indeed, I am Furine de Fontaine, your new Archon. In truth, I know little about becoming a nation's new god, but it will be my honor to guide you all. As the god Focalor, the god of justice, I shall do all within my power to lead you into an age of fairness and justice. Once again, thank you all for coming. If you should have any questions or suggestions, please send them to the Maison Cardinalise. The future of Fontaine will require us to work together, after all. This should do it. I thought I might stammer, but thankfully I was able to convey my thoughts just fine. Okay, and next.
That's the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses humanity would be a bit more assertive.
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions there at the end.
Shouldn't gods be all powerful? She's being so modest. What's the difference between her and an ordinary person then?
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen. She might just be a Maison-back puppet.
Wait, what's going on? Why is everyone suspecting me of being a fake? Oh, this is bad. If I get exposed here, there'll be no saving the people from the prophecy. Right.
Weak aura.
Mirmi
Stand
said
on
that I just
business.
need to
You gotta
play the
look like you
role of a
standing on.
god as humans imagine them to be. Calm down, Furina. Think. What do the people want?
To be a demon.
How would they imagine a god to speak and act? Assertive, with a strong sense of presence, one who can dispel all doubt.
I'd have been a demon on that stage.
Is the character I'm fated to play.
No way. My nervous ass would have shut the fuck down real quick.
Oh, very very good, my people. Only ones such as you are deserving of my rule. Now, I was wondering if some weak puppet were to one day come onto the stage and claim ownership of this opera house, would the children of Fontaine follow them? Well, it seems that you would all see right through them. Having passed my test, you are qualified to witness wondrous trials alongside my august self here in this opera house. You may consider my previous act a door gift of sorts. I thought it was a debut that suited the atmosphere. Now then, let us be reintroduced.
Ah, so that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten that we were inside an opera house?
Her personality. It's quite shocking, to be honest, but I suppose it's a better look than before. Such a fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful. Our future may yet be bright after all.
It seems I've turned them around. Best follow this flow and restart my accession speech. My dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay, I say to you, keep faith in your ardor for justice. We have heard it said that this nation's sins can no longer be washed away. Well, I say that justice is most fragrant when it blooms amid sin. The scales of justice should not weigh heavy in the hands of its God. On one side, it must carry fairness and justice. And on the other, praise and applause. May law be the prayer on our lips. May judgment be our worship. Let us light the fires and drink to the future of Fontaine.
If you're gonna act, we're gonna act.
There is no trouble in this world that justice cannot solve.
No matter how much
all that is needed is for you, my people, to believe in it, heart and soul. So long as I, the Archon Focalor, stand within the Opera Epiclese, so long as I stand before the Oratrice, I shall even judge the gods of this world!
I am my ass up. Charisma stat 999. Charisma stat so high, bro. Scene 3, Opera House, Farina. Oh, we can run. A little jump. No? Got it.
Lady Furina, here are today's case reports, as well as a summary of the follow-up for your perusal.
Come now, was I not just at the Opera House in person? Leave these kinds of things to Neuvillette. Besides, none of these trials were the one that I'm looking forward to the most.
If I may be so impertinent, what kind of trial are you truly looking forward to?
A magnificent, dramatic, and wondrous trial. A trial to end all things. How could you hope to understand?
That's true. I fear I lack the ability to grasp your divine thought, Lady Archon.
No need for fright, and do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now, do your duties. The trial I await. It will come one day.
500, 600, 355,000 years, maybe. A long time.
Lady Furina, I don't know what to say. Thank you for agreeing to see me.
No need to thank me. Or rather, thank your own sense of perseverance instead. Long have you stood in line to meet me, have you not? Oh, I'm afraid that's just an inevitable consequence of my divine charm. All right, Deoteria, is it? How is your son's illness?
You remembered me, and you knew of my family, too. He is doing much better now. In fact, he is far more of an ardent believer than I. He was the one who forced me to seek an audience with you, and to bring your words back to him.
Oh, good. Very good. If this should happen again in the future, please do not hesitate to come and tell me. Going down to citizens' homes every so often, while not usual practice, should serve as a fine change of pace.
You're such a gentle and wise God.
It's gonna turn left real quick, isn't it?
On behalf of my son.
That's gonna turn left real quick, isn't it? Left, maybe a right? Nah, there ain't no rights here. All this is just lefts. There's a whole bunch of bad lefts.
Lady Furine, here are the latest hydrological reports. As for the specific parameters you asked to take note of, I'm afraid things still don't look good.
I see. It's as I thought then. As your god, I did already expect this, but I wanted to see how far your human wisdom would allow you to analyze it. All manner of signs indicate that the prophecy will still come to pass.
If I was working there,
forget it. That's not something you need to worry about right now.
Love you though.
Well, as I understand
that up.
The Fontaine Research Institute is also trying to find a way to counter the rising water levels.
Haven't found a damn
Really?
thing.
Have they found anything?
I'm afraid that they haven't found any effective solution thus far.
Oh, is that so? Well, no wonder. This issue has reached the realm of the gods, after all. Still, their spirit is praiseworthy.
Damn. Tragic. Indeed. Tragic indeed.
The day is finally over. I haven't
home.
had a moment to breathe this whole time. But it's good to see that everything's getting on track. There are no longer any voices of suspicion. Maybe this is fine. I just need to keep going.
The tragic part about this.
And everyone will be saved. All right, Furina, don't think too hard about this. You need rest.
She was about to get smoked,
Tomorrow's
like, not too long.
day.
Arlecchino was gonna smoke the fuck. And that's crazy.
Lady Furina, here are the new trial reports for the latest cases, as well as a summary of the follow-up.
There'll be no need for that. I've seen them already. There's no need to go back over scenes I've witnessed in person before.
Lady Furina, I've
every day,
waited
bro.
So long for this chance to see you in this
9 to 5, bro.
Indeed, my dear loyal
9
citizen.
to 5,
this
bro.
joyous moment is an honor
9
for
to
us
5,
both.
bro.
Lady Furina, we're detecting significant hydrological anomalies near Poisson.
Understood. Keep monitoring. Keep me informed should
9
anything
to
come up
5,
at the
bro.
Institute.
9 to 5, bro.
Don't think I let anything slip
This
today.
night is 9 to 5. 9 to 7.
I must show the people that there is nothing to worry about. I
We're
just
gonna be doing this for a long time.
don't know when these days will end. I feel utterly exhausted. Best to rest early today, too.
This is gonna be your existence. Eve 5, bro. Shit, she gonna throw it, baby girl. Every day. Every day. Same old, bro. With the sketch marks in the back. Oh, that's sick. And that's 500 years in tallies. I peeped that.
Lady Furina.
That's 500 years in tallies. I peeped
It's
that.
like a dream being able to speak with you up close like this.
I've heard that the first member of our family who was honored to receive an audience with you was Madame Deoteria, almost 20 generations ago.
And what a fine family yours is indeed. It brings me great joy to meet such a faithful believer, a descendant of a line most ardent.
Yeah.
Surely you exaggerate, Lady Furina. My lady?
What is it, good citizen?
Generations.
Are you crying?
Uh-huh. Really now? I didn't even notice. This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the god whose dominion is the waters, can I?
The eye twitch
No
is
wonder.
crazy,
No
bro. Not the eye
manifestation
twitch.
of your power, then. Oh, Archon, I am
The eye
honored to
twitch
have witnessed
is
it.
crazy,
Honored
bro.
indeed.
The funny. 500 years of this bullshit, bro.
So lonely.
You gonna get more minutes.
Just how much longer? Hundreds of years must have passed by now. Perhaps the show must go on for hundreds more. I never imagined that it would hurt so much. Have I reached my limit? No. Perhaps I reached it long ago. Today I didn't even notice my own tears. I want to tell someone, anyone, about this. But would that not destroy all I've done so far? I've conducted so many investigations across the centuries, but there's not even a sliver of hope that we might break the prophecy. All I can do is keep heart. I must maintain this act. It is the only way to save Fontaine. Please, mirror me. You have to succeed.
Sheesh. Left. So many laughs.
Furina, you don't have to shoulder this burden alone. Although I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone, your people are more than willing to share your burden with you.
Yeah. You were the closest.
Share my burden. That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone.
But even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, you can still choose to confide in someone. Just share it with me. I'm what you'd call a witness.
A witness? Yes, I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars, yes. In other words, you never belonged here. And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're just a spectator, aren't you? If that's the case... She's right. I could confide in her, couldn't I? But if things don't play out as expected, the people of Fontaine will be the ones to pay the price. No, Furina, you shouldn't be selfish. But what if...
So close.
What if it's really all right? Furina, you've worked so hard for so long. Surely it would be okay to put yourself first for once. Just this once. Is it such an outrageous thing to do anyway? To find someone in whom you can confide your frustrations and sorrows? Surely it could not hurt. If you let this opportunity slip through your fingers, it might never come by again. Think about it long and hard.
And she was gonna say it, and then Lenny hit her with the "Gotcha, bitch."
No, I have nothing to say. I am Furine, the Archon of Fontaine.
Damn.
Everything will surely get better. All you need to do, dear spectator, is to witness my performance until the curtains fall.
Stupid.
Fine.
And your ass got put on trial. Ugh. That last chance.
So even Furine doesn't know the truth? You've never once let her in on the full plan?
Yes, it had to be done. To deceive the heavenly principles, you must first deceive yourself. She did very well. If she had let her resolve falter even once in these 5 centuries, Fontaine would have been doomed to the most tragic fate.
Because honestly, Celestial look like they just don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna lie, bro. After Connery, from what I hear from Nahida, after Connery and Super, after Connery and them niggas just like, they just don't give a shit. I ain't gonna lie.
It seems that trusting humanity was the right decision after all.
I believe that I understand how your deception works, but that is only half the truth, is it not? How would you build on this foundation to save the people of Fontaine? That is the most important thing.
Ah, good. Of course, the Eudex of Fontaine has pinpointed the crux of the issue. I'm sure you've long sensed that the Oratrice is no simple machine, yes?
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness, and Lenny did mention that he heard a human voice within the core chamber. It now seems that that person was you, hidden within the machine all along. Am I right?
And then I became one with the Oratrice, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes, it would seem so, wouldn't it? Alas, your understanding of this device still lacks sufficient depth. In truth, it is no enactor of justice. It is, in fact, a device created to kill the god of justice.
I beg your pardon? Facts.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, you have it. And to be more precise, not only will the Oratrice take down the god of justice, it will also take down the divine throne upon which she has been placed. I mean, did you think I would be the sort to enjoy peaceful repose while Furine suffered? My work over these last 500 years has been to constantly accumulate indemnitium within the Oratrice. But really, some have already discovered that only a small fraction of the energy generated by the device was ever used to provide power to Fontaine. The vast majority had to be, accumulated to enact this death sentence.
It was all a part of your plan, then? Both the trial and the sentence?
Indeed. This power, accrued over 5 centuries, could have sustained Fontainians for millennia had it only been used for that purpose. Almost all of it has now been stored within the Oratrice. But only power of this magnitude could hope to destroy the Hydro Archon's divine throne, shaking the rules established by Celestia and breaking through the institution that is the Seven.
So the Oratrice's call for death was for neither Furine nor Focalor. But for the Hydro Archon, the destruction of that divine throne, if I do not misunderstand your intent, you must be...
Returning what's rightfully yours to you, of course. In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to the Hydro Dragon of this planet.
He's a sovereign. The sovereigns had their powers originally. And then they got taken. It was given to the
what? Getting sad again, are we? The authority of the ancient dragons shall soon be yours once more, O Hydro Dragon Sovereign.
What if he became a
and
villain?
This is the
what
face
if he did this
make?
and then he was like, oh, great, now I can fuck over humanity.
All you've done throughout the years is just so you can sacrifice yourself at the very end.
I've never quite seen it that way, you know.
Is a cool dude.
Even now, I'm quite pleased at how well my deception worked.
That was weird. Like, really weird. Celestia just can see all of this happening.
Hydro Dragon, don't cry.
Damn mouth, woman.
I must say, had it been within my rights, I would have loved to judge the heavenly principles themselves. Were they not guilty of essentially the same crime? Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea, and the heavenly principles stole the power you ancient dragons possessed. I, for my part, am the god of justice. And is it not just that your original powers should be returned to you? Speaking of justice, I have always believed that justice lies in the process of pursuing human existence itself. So, if the theft of the primordial sea's might was Fontaine's original sin, then, leaving matters of procedural right and wrong aside, the descent of the Fontainians as humans and their right to exist in this world would be Fontaine's original justice. In other words, existence was Egeria's justice, and to me, justice is the continuation of that existence.
Really
defying the prophecy and ensuring that Fontaine's people shall live on. That should be the justice enthroned over all others.
Yeah.
At this
you are
point,
defying the prophecy. You were cooking up something. You was
whether it be myself or all other Fontanians, have shouldered the burden of this sin for far too long. Judex Neuvillette, the highest judge in our land, when you regain your full power as an elemental sovereign,
it's a weird analogy, but that's
what
essentially
verdict shall you pass upon us?
So when I was invited to the court of Fontaine to serve as Judex, I see now that that was your idea too. At last, I now understand the true purpose behind this position. In the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living alongside them have gradually brought about mutual understanding between us. And I have even attempted to feel as they feel. You are a devious one, Focalors. Things being as they are, surely you know that I could never declare them to be guilty.
I love how...
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common.
Pop a little jig.
Farewell, Neuvillette. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
Little jig. Oh, you gonna kill a little dance too? That sword was really cool guy. Cool dude though. Gonna get your powers back, dog. Alright, so do you at least like get to keep the end of medium though? I'm asking the wrong questions. I'm sorry. Thank you, Furina, for all you've done. From this moment on, please live happily as a human, just as I wish.
Ex Nouvellette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
Damn. I like how Celestia just doesn't give a fuck. After all this, Celestia is just chilling.
What just happened? Has the death sentence been carried out?
Was that bright light some sort of misdirection?
It did.
I have a feeling that something huge just happened.
But since we're all still alive and haven't been dissolved, I assume whatever happened was good for us.
It's time to end this. We must mete out punishment to that beast.
But didn't you say just a moment ago that it can't be defeated?
I have gained the strength sufficient to deal with it. Through certain means, I now have the ability to separate the power of the primordial sea from that creature. We should seize the opportunity to pursue our quarry. Traveler, now that the oratories can no longer function, I require an executor to help me mete out justice. The root of the calamities befalling Fontaine, the beast that enacts the prophecy. Its name is the all-devouring narwhal. Come with me, traveler. The hour of execution has
Beautiful
come.
ass thumbnail. But question. So Celestia knew about the narwhal? It would have to. So the Celestia knew about the narwhal. Wait. If Celestia knew about the narwhal, right? It knows. And that's why it's like, oh, this is gonna happen. Does that mean technically, right? Now hear me out. This sounds a little crazy here. Because Celeste also knew this was gonna happen. Well, no, because they said, oh, people will dissolve, right? Like the people will dissolve. So I'm guessing what Furina did with Nicolette stopped the people from dissolving, right? Like, okay, a flood is probably still going to happen, right? Because the prophecy will be fulfilled, but not entirely, I'm guessing. They're still going to, like, work around it. So, I'm guessing, like, Nicolette just did something to stop human... I don't know. I get that. I get that part. But, if Celestia knew about the narwhal, right, because narwhal is the part of the prophecy, why the fuck did Celestia just kill the narwhal? Why did they fucking kill a narwhal? They could do that. They could like, oh shit, yo, bro, there's a narwhal that's gonna show up. Why didn't they just go like, yo, hey, yo, Bro, look, listen. There's a narwhal that's gonna show up, and it's gonna fuck everything over because of what you did. So you're gonna need to find a way in these 500 years to kill that narwhal. Why they just didn't do that? Because then you would have had folklore do long ways, right? Furine wouldn't technically need to exist. Right, and then, well, I guess because they didn't want the dragon sovereigns to get their powers back. So, right, because it's part of the line, so they'd be like, oh, folklore would have had to do it. But, yeah. So I guess that makes sense. Right. Because the narwhal is going to cause the flood anyway. Right? Because the flood has to happen. Right? It's part of the prophecy. So the flood has to happen. So, I guess the narwhal would have caused the flood anyway. So, because the flood would have happened anyway, even if they killed the narwhal, like let's say right here, we killed the narwhal or before, the water level still would have risen too high, right? And the primordial seawater is still in the regular ash water. So people would have been disintegrated anyway because the water levels were fucked. So I guess, right, technically it would have happened anyway. Tragically enough. But oh yeah, it's foolproof. You know, I have no idea what Celestia's thinking right now. No one does, honestly. Because in all actuality, what should be happening right now, I know I'm going on a rant, but what should be happening right now, technically, if Celestia was still awake, this shit should have happened, and then a fucking giant ass nail should have and then literally a giant ass nail should come down and smack fucking Fontaine right now, and everybody should be in the dirt. This is 2 hours and 30 minutes. This shit gonna be long. I can't even stop it if I wanted to. But yeah, the giant nail comes down, bow, hit Fontaine. Everybody go. Celestia was around. So I guess. Oh, that's not funny. Oh, that's not funny. Oh, hey, wait. Oh, okay. We're gonna beat his ass.
How are we going to do that? It's huge!
I've already done my best to separate the power of the primordial sea from the wave. Considering the size of the beast, I cannot reach the power source. Unless we can find a way to attack it from within. I shall share a part of the ancient dragon's power. We shall look for an opening together.
I beat this shit up. What's up? Why me? Dude, all this jibber jabber.
I can feel the sorrow turning into hostility.
Missed.
Beg for mercy.
Stop moving! Yeah. Come check these legs!
More speed.
The all-devouring narwhal cannot resist its instinct to devour. Continue to trigger its hostility. Chance will present itself.
Ugly ass boy.
Why is there a rolling thingy over there? It looks really scary.
Where's music? Stop that!
Crush!
I have granted you my protection. Do not fear. Seize the moment and use my power to suppress its root from within.
The only reason I'm dying is I don't have a shield.
Gotcha.
You're supposed to fight with you.
Look alive!
I do not have.
Crush!
Bro, if you don't get your ass up, you lost way too quickly. You are trash. Child! What is bitch? You look stupid.
Thanks for helping with the cleanup. It should have been my job, but oh well.
Those socks? Or is that like your skin? Why is your skin glowing? Why is your skin galaxy colored? Wait. Why is your skin forming perfectly covered high heels? I'm asking the wrong questions. Who are you?
It was just supposed to be a short private training session for me. I didn't think that my disciple and my master's pet would start brawling in the meantime.
Very nonchalant about a web that's going to destroy a whole nation.
Well, actually, I had a feeling that it would happen at some point, but they bumped into one another earlier than I thought. What a blunder. I suppose I'll have to swing my sword 3 million times as penance.
That power. Who are you exactly?
Paimon has an idea. From what she said earlier, she must be Child's master. Skirk, right? It's just that he gave us the impression that she was the less talkative person.
I simply did not have anything to say to the weak. But you, on the other hand, managed to defeat the all-devouring narwhal without using power from beyond this world. So you may speak to me as equals. I have to agree. It's a strange use of a planet's primordial waters just to raise an all-devouring narwhal. That kind of power is wasted on it. It's not cooperative. It eats too much. And I have more important things to do with my time than pet sitting. The only thing that creature has going for it is its looks. All in all, it fails as a pet.
Miss Skirk? I think you might have missed the point.
Who made this shit?
The point being?
Well, being that this pet almost destroyed an entire nation. So what sort of person is your master? Well, Child's master's master. Wait, is that right?
Oh, right. So you don't know him. Sorry, I assumed you did. His name is Sotologi.
Thank you, Lumi.
I am unfamiliar with that name.
Huh. So Master isn't sufficiently famous. How should I describe him then?
Who?
Have you heard of the name The Fowl?
The Fowl?
Still nothing? Well, how about the Visionary? Vetterfulnir then? Or Gold Rhindaughter?
Ooh, that one we've heard! Rhindaughter's part of the Hexen Circle. She's Albedo's mom, right?
Oh, so you do know that name. To be honest, I also heard all of those names and titles from my master. I don't actually know them either. But I suppose you understand now, yes? My master is likely a similar sort to Rhindaughter.
Oh.
They are both pursuing some form of perfection.
Wait, didn't you also mention a visionary person? Paimon didn't quite catch their name.
Actually, never mind that. I believe it expedient to inform you that the all-devouring narwhal used up nearly all its strength fighting you. Such roiling hydro energies will prove difficult for the planet's deep seas to digest. As such, the fontaine back on the surface has most likely been thrown into chaos. In other words, the prophecy that you've been fretting over should now be in full swing.
No, what? Is a little to be surprised about. It's natural after all. The prophecy will surely come true. We know this and accept it. However,
not to worry. Focalor has already managed to deceive the heavenly principles.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Furine will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
oh my god!
Hey! Help! Over here!
All hands, initiate emergency rescue!
Hurry! Well, imagine not being able to swim in Fontaine.
Hey,
So we're not
lend a
being able to swim in Fontaine. Oh, Diamond boys. Look at my nigga Freeman, bro. Look at my nigga Lynn. Saving the people.
Look! The water's receding!
Oh, dog. That nigga's clothes is all wet. Y'all gotta take some fat shots.
It's a miracle!
Water's receding.
We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong.
God, bro. Your peoples.
Are you alright?
We're safe. The prophecy was wrong.
Look at this thumbnail right here, boys. It wasn't wrong. It was more like really weird. It is wrong. It was wrong because they didn't dissolve. The prophecy indicated they would dissolve. They didn't do that, so it was wrong. It was wrong. Y'all cooked.
The
Y'all
Furine
cooked.
Really tax post-disaster
Folklore?
rebuilding. I recently visited Poisson to meet with Miss Navia, spokesperson of the Furine Really, and we spoke about Poisson's present and future.
Chefed it up and then you
Soil
sous-chefed it
can
up.
still give birth to new bloom, Miss Navia stated. Hope is like seeing a small cookie when you're starving late at night. You just need a little of it. Skyship Winglet, Lunar Bane of the Fontaine Research Institute. The various disputes that have arisen on account of Mr. Edwin have suddenly become a shield over the Institute, with Julia turning out to be a once-overlooked
She
hidden
handed
gem.
the cashier.
People always call the first researcher mad, but few know what to call the second. And should that latter person achieve a miracle, they would find it all the harder to find a word with which to classify him and his team. Wow! Paimon barely recognizes the people in the reports. Are those really Julia and Navia? They sound like real big shots.
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh?
This shit is going
The
to be more than
Steambird's idea was pretty
3
simple.
hours.
With the disaster just having passed, we would print a free edition packed to the margins with good news to calm people down. The value for these big scoops lies in their inevitable follow-ups. We'll publish further reports and go into the stories behind those people. Edwin's assistant, Jurier, created a true flying ship, while Navia is leading people in the reconstruction of their home. I'm sure that these stories could draw even your well-traveled eye.
Paimon's curious too! Wait a minute. Didn't we watch everything happen from start to finish? What's there to be curious about?
And that's exactly why I'd like you to come conduct interviews with me.
Don't call me an incubator.
You're the best incubators of news, if you haven't noticed. And also, with you around, I'm sure I'll get to see that Duke.
Are you sure? Hasn't he turned you down several times already?
Oh, this time will be different. Come on, let's head to Poisson first, and then make a trip to the fortress. There are some things you'll only know when you get there.
They gonna teleport me? Oh my god, finally I can stop playing. I could stop playing. And we'll do the ending of Fontaine afterwards, bro. We'll do the ending afterwards in a small little video because I can't record for too long or my whole laptop will explode and I'm running out of memory space. So, tragic. We'll see the end of Fontaine tomorrow. Yay! It'll be sick. It'll probably gonna be like an hour max. This shit's 3 hours long. Most of it was me ranting. But I'll catch y'all next time. It's been your boy. How did you survive the flood? How'd you do that? Let me know. I'll get pretty good. Pretty sick. Catch y'all next time. It's been your boy. Deuces.